Morning, it's Monday, February 26th. I'm at the office and I just want to go over some of the sales process for new construction sales agent working for a custom home builder. And this video is kind of twofold. It's going to be, could be used as a training video in the future if I ever needed somebody to step into my role, or if somebody is going to come on and kind of help me with what I'm doing. And I think that documenting what you do is huge, and that is also twofold. Number one, you're able to kind of track and see what you've done. You can go back and see and use things for reference. Number two, the things that I'm gonna document here are things that, again, if somebody's gonna step into my role or help, you know, here's the video on exactly what we do. I do also want to write it out so that I've got almost like a handbook plus the video, so you can use both as a tool. And then number three, I said it was twofold, but there's actually three things. The third benefit would be, I'm putting all of this stuff out there on YouTube and on social media, and what could and will happen is that other people who are coming into the new construction sales field are going to find these videos. They're going to watch them. It can help them as well. It can help one of my goals, which is growing my YouTube channel, in hopes that one day I could either put together an ebook or some type of a sales training course that I could offer to people, or maybe I could speak to different builders and their sales agents, things like that. So this is what we're going to do. First and foremost is you need to prioritize. So we've got, what's going to be our next hole that gets in the ground. Okay, it's such and such. Step number one, the very first thing you want to do when you start working with somebody, once they determine what lot they're going to purchase, or if they already own a lot, you want to determine which is the high side of the lot. Some lots, if you've got the high side on this side of the lot and the low side here, you want the garage on the high side. So before you even get a preliminary plan done, you want to make sure that the house is drawn properly. It doesn't affect the floor plan. It's pretty much just a mirror image depending on which side of the lot that the garage needs to go on. And in order to do that, you'll need to go into the subdivisions folder in the box and pull up the grading plan for that neighborhood and then for that particular lot, so you can see which side of the lot is the high side. This way, when you get your preliminary plan back, the house is already shown the way that it's going to be drawn moving forward, as opposed to you get a preliminary plan back and you've got garage left, but then you determine that, well, the garage actually needs to be on the right side of the lot. So then the client is used to seeing the home and the floor plan laid out a certain way, and then all of a sudden you've got to flip-flop it, and they don't like that. It kind of throws them off and they're not used to that. So make sure you find that out right away. Second step is getting the blueprint back. Of course, I'm going to go over it with the clients. I'm going to meet with them tomorrow to go over the plan with them, so that we can get any changes we need, get those sent back to the draftsman, and keep things moving there. The other thing that I need to do before we will go in for a building permit, we need a full set of blueprints signed off by the client saying, everything is good and exact and we're not going to make any more changes. The other thing that we need, number two, is the selections all need to be completed and signed off on. Once those two things are done, we can go in for the building permit. And the selections process can take some time. There's a lot of things to decide there. So as soon as I get a full set of blueprints back and I've got exact dimensions for what the flooring company is going to need to measure materials, the cabinet company needs exact dimensions so that they can put together their pricing and 3D drawings for the client. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sending out emails to our cabinet supplier, our flooring supplier, the different showrooms where they need to go and make selections. And I'm going to send them the blueprint so that they have it, along with, when I'm, for example, sending this email over to the cabinet company, I'm going to send the blueprint, and then I'm also going to go into their pricing or their contract, and I'm going to call out the things that I added above and beyond just the standard cabinet package. For example, they want such and such door style. They want a double wastebasket pull-out cabinet. They want staggered height cabinets, 36 inches, 42 inches, for the uppers with crown molding. Those are things that the cabinet company needs to know so that when they put their initial pricing together, they use that as a base bid. So they take the blueprint, they take the information that I send them, and then they can put together, this is what the base cost is for the cabinets. Then when the client goes and meets with the cabinet supplier, they know what their base number is per what's on the blueprint and what's in their pricing already. Now if they decide to do upgrades and pick anything above and beyond what's in the blueprint or what we have priced in, then the cabinet company will revise the total and they'll say, okay, now the cabinets are, let's say the base cabinet amount was $4,000. And the client goes and meets with the cabinet company and they pick out a few extras here and there. Then the cabinet company gives the client the new total. We'll say it's $5,000. Now the client knows, okay, I need to, pay an extra $1,000 to get these upgrades that they want. They can decide if they want to do that. If they do want to do that, then we as a builder need to put a change order together saying, there's $1,000 in cabinet upgrades, have the client sign the change order and get the check from the client, right away. The other thing that I need to do, so I just got the blueprint back, we create a folder in the box, and the box is a system that we use. It's like a cloud-based type, I've set up a file in there, everybody in the company can access it. But I'm gonna put this blueprint into the box and I'm going to date it. We will have another revision, so the next one that comes in will be a later date and you'll be able to see the order, and ultimately we'll use the one that's signed off on and ready to go. But I'm going to take the blueprint, I'm going to put it into the box, and then I'm going to get an email together and sent out to the different showrooms where the client's going to go for selections. Super important when I'm saving a blueprint into the box, it's got to be dated correctly. You can't just save it into their file. Everything needs to be in order, and if you date it correctly, they'll all fall into order. And the way that we need to date the blueprints is we've got the job name and then we'll put in the date. So today is February 26th, it's 2018. So I'll type in the job name, Johnson, we'll say for example, and then I'll put 2018-02, which is the month of February, -26, which is the day that it is. And as long as you save everything and date it like that, they'll all fall into order. When I'm putting the email together to send over to the cabinet company, and this will be for all the different showrooms that the client's going to go to, I need to put in not only what's included in their blueprint and their pricing so that we can get that base price, or if it's the flooring company, there is a flooring allowance that's specified in their pricing. The flooring company would need to know that. But also in the email, I'm going to include their full names, email address, and a phone number. That way, the Carpetland, who we use, can contact the clients, set up an appointment, and take it from there. I showed you what the email looks like that I put together. Before I send this, I'm actually going to copy all of the text, because when I now send an email to Carpetland, I can use most of the same verbiage. That'll just end up taking less time. So I'm going to copy everything, I'll send it, and then I'll start my next email to Carpetland, and I'll just paste everything and change some of the verbiage there. So again, along with sending the blueprint, we need to send information. For example, with the flooring company here, they need the blueprint. They also need to know how much we have figured into the contract for their flooring allowance. Everything can be found in the pricing sheets in the building contract, as far as what the cabinet extras are, what the flooring allowance is. Now with the flooring, Carpetland, who we use, they do not only the flooring, but they do any tile work. So if there's a whirlpool in the master and there's a tile tub surround, they do that as well. If there's a tile shower, they do that as well. So with flooring, you need to look under the plumbing section and see if there is a tub in the master and what that tile allowance that comes along with it is. And also under the plumbing, you need to see if there's a tile shower in the master bathroom and what that amount is. You're going to send those amounts along with the flooring allowance, which is specified on the last page of the pricing. that's the information that the flooring company needs. So there's a total of 4 emails that you will send out. These are different showrooms that they're going to go to. Number 1 are the cabinets, 2 flooring, number 3 fireplace. Number 4 would be exterior stone or brick. There's a showroom where they can go and look at that and pick out their selections there. Ultimately, countertops as well, so that would be number 5. So I'm still working on getting the contract finalized with this client, and last time we met they had some items that they wanted to get information on, and one of them pertained to painting. So I've already got a painting allowance in their pricing, but they wanted to know how much it would be to paint all of the ceilings white in certain rooms and then to paint a couple additional bathrooms. So what I'm going to do is send the blueprint over to my dad and then let him know what they're looking for, you know, as far as ceilings getting painted white, what rooms they want painted. I'll let him know what we currently have in the pricing for painting, and then he can get a number from our painter and get back to me and say, okay, it's going to be another, you know, $2,000 to do that. I can then let the client know. If they're good with it, we'll get it into their contract. Talking about the same client regarding their fireplace facing, which would be either the brick or stone that they pick, and the exterior brick or stone that they pick. Now, this particular client is going to be duplicating the house that they live in. So they like the brick and the mortar that they have on the exterior of their house, and they want the same brick facing that they currently have on the fireplace. So what you can do in this instance is send John from Champion Brick, who we get our brick from, send him the address of their home. He can go and look at the brick and the mortar, identify the colors, and then now we've got their selection. So when our mason calls in for the order, they already know what kind of brick to order and what kind of mortar to order. As far as the fireplace, that is the same brick as what's on the outside of the home. So again, once I have the exterior stone company go and look at that brick and tell me what it is, I can let the fireplace company know this is the type of brick that he wants. In this case, they're going to be building in the Orchard Estates neighborhood. So I go into the box, find the Orchard Estates grading plan, I pop it open. They're going to be building on lot 21. And there's different numbers that are written on the grading plan. And this will take some practice to learn how to actually read it, but when you're looking to see what the high side of the lot is, you want to look for the elevations that are at the front and the left corners of the lot. So basically what the elevations are at the street. So from one side to the other, and I'll kind of show you here what we're looking at. So here's lot 21, and this is the street here. This is the curb. This is the front right corner of the lot, front left corner. So we're looking at these numbers. I've got 730, and then I've got 732 here. So what that means is that this point right here is 732 feet above sea level. This is 730 feet above sea level. This is the higher side of the lot, so we're going to want the garage on this side of the lot. So we want garage left.